For over 2,000 years, China has stood as one of the world's most enduring civilizations, experiencing cycles of unity and fragmentation. These cycles have repeatedly brought together vast territories and diverse populations under centralized rule, only to fracture and begin anew. This video explores the fascinating history of China's earliest states, the formation of the First Chinese Empire, and the remarkable journey of its dynasties, starting from the Yellow River Valley to the mighty Qing Dynasty's unification, abolishing feudalism to centralized power. Before unification, China operated under a feudal system where regional lords held significant power, often acting independently of the central authority, leading to fragmentation and internal conflicts. Qin Shi Huang recognized that a unified empire required centralized control, so he dismantled feudal structures, confiscating land from the nobility and redistributing it to government-appointed officials loyal to him. This move neutralized the influence of regional lords and laid the foundation for a strong central government capable of enforcing laws uniformly across China. By appointing officials based on merit rather than lineage, Qin Shi Huang reduced corruption and ensured governance focused on the empire's stability rather than individual ambitions. This abolition of feudalism marked a radical shift that became essential to China's unified national identity, establishing commanderies and administrative divisions. To replace the feudal system, Qin Shi Huang established 36 commanderies, each organized with a clear administrative hierarchy. These commanderies were further divided into counties, with officials directly appointed by the emperor, enabling consistent governance throughout the empire. Each commandery had a civil governor, a military governor, and an overseer, each overseeing different functions and reporting to the emperor. This structure provided checks and balances, reducing corruption by ensuring officials monitored one another. Officials were rotated regularly to prevent the formation of local loyalties or accumulation of power, thus securing the emperor's absolute authority and minimizing the risk of rebellion. Standardizing the legal system. Before unification, China's regions had diverse laws, creating confusion and inconsistency. Qin Shi Huang implemented a unified legal code that applied equally across the empire, reflecting the strict principles of legalism, which viewed strict laws as essential to maintaining order. Harsh punishments like forced labor, exile, and execution were used to deter crime and reinforce loyalty to the state. This standardized system ensured justice was applied consistently, regardless of social status or location. Although seen as oppressive, this legal code brought stability to a previously fragmented nation and influenced future dynasties, who would later soften its severity while preserving its foundational structure. Infrastructure and roads, connecting the empire. Qin Shi Huang's construction of an extensive road and canal network was key to physically unifying the empire. Built to standard specifications, these imperial highways connected the capital, Xianyang, to distant regions, enabling rapid communication, troop deployment, and trade. The addition of canals linking rivers further improved transportation and resource movement across China. This infrastructure allowed for swift responses to unrest and invasions, while also fostering trade and interaction, which strengthened national unity. Qin Shi Huang's infrastructure projects not only supported centralized control, but also laid the groundwork for China's long-term economic and social cohesion. Standardizing currency, weights, and measures. Economic unity was as essential as political unity, and Qin Shi Huang recognized that a common currency was vital to achieving this goal. Before his reforms, each state had its own currency, complicating trade and taxation. Qin Shi Huang introduced a standardized bronze coin, a circular piece with a square hole in the center, which became the official currency of the empire. This simple, uniform currency streamlined trade and tax collection, making it easier for merchants to conduct business across the empire. Along with currency, weights and measures were also standardized, ensuring consistency in commerce and trade. By adopting a single system of weights and measurements, Qin Shi Huang eliminated discrepancies that could lead to disputes and made economic transactions more straightforward. This economic standardization fostered a fairer marketplace and reduced regional disparities. unifying China's economy under a single system that was easier to regulate and tax. A unified language and script. Language was another unifying tool used by Qin Shi Huang to solidify his rule. Different regions in China used various dialects and scripts, which created barriers to communication and administrative cohesion. To overcome this, Qin Shi Huang standardized the Chinese script, mandating the use of a single written language across the empire. This standardized script was based on the Qin state's characters but simplified for easier learning and consistency. With a uniform writing system, the government could communicate effectively across regions, issuing decrees, legal codes, and official documents in a language that was accessible to all literate citizens. The unified script fostered cultural cohesion, as it helped create a shared written identity that transcended regional differences. This policy had a lasting impact on Chinese culture, as it laid the foundation for a unified linguistic identity that would endure for millennia. The Great Wall of China, a monumental defense system. To defend his empire from northern threats, especially the Xiongnu nomadic tribes, Qin Shi Huang initiated one of China's most iconic projects, the construction of the Great Wall. While individual states had previously built walls to protect their borders, Qin Shi Huang's vision was to connect and expand these walls into a single continuous barrier. The Great Wall was constructed using local materials, with different sections built from earth, stone, and wood depending on the region's resources. The Great Wall was not just a defensive structure, it was also a symbol of the emperor's power and the unity of the empire. Guard towers and garrisons were established along the wall, allowing the military to monitor and respond to threats quickly. The wall protected China from invasions, but it also served as a psychological barrier, reinforcing the sense of separation between the empire and the barbarians beyond its borders. The Great Wall remains one of the most enduring symbols of Qin Shi Huang's legacy, representing both the unity and strength of ancient China. Agricultural and irrigation improvements. Agriculture was the backbone of the Chinese economy, and Qin Shi Huang invested heavily in improving agricultural productivity to ensure food security for his expanding empire. Large-scale irrigation projects, such as the construction of canals and water channels, were initiated to increase the amount of arable land and improve crop yields. One of the most famous projects was the Lingkou Canal, which linked the Yangtze and Pearl River systems, providing water for irrigation and facilitating transportation. These agricultural advancements allowed for more efficient farming practices, which in turn supported a growing population. The increase in food production not only helped sustain the military and urban populations, but also enabled the empire to withstand natural disasters and famines. By promoting agricultural growth, Qin Shi Huang ensured that his empire had a stable and reliable food supply, further consolidating his control over the population. Book burning and cultural control. In his pursuit of absolute control, Qin Shi Huang implemented strict policies to regulate intellectual and cultural life. Concerned about dissenting ideas that could challenge his authority, he ordered the burning of books that contradicted his ideology. This censorship was particularly directed at Confucian texts and other works that promoted feudal values or questioned the emperor's legitimacy. Only texts on practical subjects like medicine, agriculture, and technology were spared. The book burnings symbolized Qin Shi Huang's determination to reshape society according to his vision, but they also resulted in the loss of valuable cultural heritage. While this policy suppressed dissent and consolidated power, it also limited the intellectual diversity of the time. The emperor believed that by controlling what people read and learned, he could create a unified society that aligned with his vision of a centralized state. Legacy of the Qing Dynasty. Foundations for future dynasties. Though the Qing Dynasty lasted only from 221 BCE to 206 BCE, its impact on Chinese history was profound. Qin Shi Huang's reforms established a blueprint for governance that future dynasties would follow, even as they modified aspects of his harsh rule. The legal, administrative, and infrastructural systems he created became the foundation of the Chinese state. The Han Dynasty, which succeeded the Qin, retained many of these reforms, including standardized language, currency, and centralized administration. Qin Shi Huang's legacy lies not only in his achievements, but also in his vision of a unified China. His reign marked the beginning of a cohesive Chinese identity and the establishment of a centralized empire that would endure for millennia. Empires fell and legends were born. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the past, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated for more historical adventures. Your support fuels our next story. Don't miss it.